it's time for some mini regular expressions challenges. There's almost always more than one way to write a regular expression that will match what you want. The answers that I provide in this lecture will probably not be the only answer. Essentially, what I'm saying here is, if your answer doesn't match the one that I provide, that doesn't mean that you're wrong or that your answer isn't correct. That's because I can't really go through every possible solution. It's usually the case that there are many multiple solutions with programming, but this is especially true with regular expressions. Alright, so let's go on now and start looking at these challenges. For your first challenge, I want you to write a regular expression that matches the exact sentence hello, world! Use the matches method on string to check if the input sentence matches this pattern. Use only literal characters in the regular expression. Okay, so pause the video and give that a try. When you're ready, come back and I'll show you my solution. I've created a new project called Mini Challenges for these challenges. The first challenge was to use character literals only in your regular expression. This means I'm not going to use any of the special meta characters. In this case, I will create an expression that's an exact match to the sentence. I'll set up a variable for the sentence first. I'll call the matches method on my variable, passing it a string literal that was exactly the same as sentence. This method matches the entire string and returns a boolean. I'll print the result. Let's see if my solution works. The result is true because this pattern, using only literal characters, matches the sentence. Okay, so hopefully that one wasn't hard. The main thing to remember is that the matches method will match every character in the string. This is probably the only challenge where there really is only one right answer, since I wanted you to use literal characters and not meta characters. Next up is Mini Challenge 2. That should be a bit more interesting. In this challenge, I want you to create a regular expression that matches a sentence starting with an uppercase letter, followed by 0 or more lowercase letters, and ending with a period. For example, the bike is a red period, or I am a new student period, should match your regular expression. The sentences hello world period, or how are you question mark should not. Use the matches method to verify the pattern on each of these examples. So pause the video and see if you can figure that out. Come back if you get matches on the first two sentences, or if you're having trouble with this. This one is a little more complex. The rules are first, the sentence starts with a capital letter, and second, it ends in a period. I'll start by creating a local variable for this regular expression, and I'll call it challenge 2. I want a capital letter first, so I'll use the range in brackets, capital letter A to Z in square brackets. I don't want a quantifier for this, because I only want it to be a single capital letter. After this, I want to match any character, so I can use just a dot, and the quantifier I'll use is the asterisk. This means my sentence could be a single letter, but that's okay right now. Finally, I want the last character to be a period. Because I really want this to be a period, and not a meta character, I need to escape it, so I'll need 2 backslashes. Next, I'll set up an enhanced for loop with the 4 strings that were on the slide. These were the bike is red with a period, I am a new student also ending with a period, hello world ending in a period, but hello is a lowercase h. And lastly, how are you? But this ends in a question mark. I'll call the matches method again on each of these, passing it my regular expression. I'll print the result and the sentence. Let's review the output from running it. The regular expression matched the first 2 sentences, but not the last 2. Did you come up with a different regular expression? Let me just show you a slightly different version that does the same thing. I'm going to replace the dot with a character class that contains a range for lowercase letters from the letter A to Z and then the space character. This means the first capital character can be followed by any lowercase letter or a space to match, matching on 0 or many of these characters. This code does nearly the same thing. It gives me the same results in this case, but if I had used a capital letter in any of the sentence other than the first letter, this second expression would not have matched. I can also change the asterisk to a plus, which means there has to be at least one other character between the first capital letter and the last period. I could also change the double backslash period to just a period in square brackets, which is another way to specify a single period. I'll run this revised code now. I'll get the same matches for these 4 sentences. I hope this helps you see how many different ways you can write a regular expression. You should try to understand your requirements really well, because as you can see, a minor change can affect the type of matches you get back. Okay, so let's keep going here and move on to the next mini challenge. This is mini challenge 3. In this challenge, I want you to modify the requirements to challenge 2 slightly matching sentences that end in different punctuation marks, but still maintaining the other criteria. In other words, the sentence should start with a word beginning with a capital letter, followed by one or more words separated by spaces, and end with either an exclamation mark, question mark, or period. In addition, punctuation marks within the sentence should be permitted, as are capital letters and abbreviations. Modify your sentences to be, the bike is red, comma, and has flat tyres, period. I love being a new LPA, with periods between each letter, student exclamation mark. Hello, comma, friends and family, colon, welcome, exclamation mark. And lastly, how are you, comma, Mary, question mark. Okay, pause the video now and try this out, and come back when you are ready to review my solution. I'll start by copying challenge 2 and the for loop and paste a copy right below. I'll change the name from challenge 2 to challenge 3. I'm going to change my 4 sentences, so first I'll add a comma after the word red, and then has flat tyres. I'll change the second to, I love being a new LPA student, with periods between those letters with the exclamation point at the end. For the third, I'll replace hello world and make that hello with a capital H, friends and family, colon, welcome, and an exclamation point at the end. Finally, I'll just add a comma Mary before the question mark. I also need to change the variable I pass to matches to be challenge 3. Okay, so I haven't changed my regular expression yet, and if I run this now, I'll see that I get 4 falses. Do you know why none of them match even the first sentence that ends in a period? It's because this regular expression is only looking for lowercase letters or white space, and all of these sentences have punctuation in the middle of the sentence. I'll change this middle part, and there's multiple ways to do it. The simplest is to replace that second set of square brackets and everything in it with a dot, so I'll do that. Let's see what that gives us. I get true for the first sentence. I still need to handle sentences that end in a question mark or exclamation mark, so I can just add those 2 characters to the last set of square brackets. Running this now, you can see that I have now matched every sentence. Notice what happens if I replace the first period with 2 backslashes and the letter P, all surrounded by square brackets. IntelliJ will display all the options I have at this point. As you can see, there are many options. There's all, alnum, for both alphabetical and numeric characters and so on. I'm going to pick all here. Maybe you included the anchors for the start of the sentence and end of the sentence, and that can be a good idea in some cases. I'll add them here, so a caret character at the start of my expression and a $sign for the end. These are the anchor characters. Running the code with this regular expression still gives me the same result as not using these anchors. I get true in all cases. Remember, strings match method always matches the entire string, so using the anchors here was somewhat redundant. Alright, so let's finish the video here now. I'll continue on with some more challenges for our regular expressions section later. In the next video, I'll be going over the classes that are in the java.util.regex package. These classes let us do quite a bit more with regular expressions, so I'll see you in that next video.